What's going on, everyone? I'm Lamar, and this is a political short. Today, we're going to be talking about Vice President Biden and his VP picks. All right, he's narrowed it down to just a few. He won't specifically say who they are, who's in that top 3 or 4 category, but I think we know who it is. If you've been watching, if you've been keeping up with what's going on and what's being said in interviews, you've been keeping up with the news, you know who his picks are. All right, and I want to go through them in just a second, but I also want to talk about his criteria. We've heard a little bit about his criteria. He's saying that he, according to his camp, he wants someone that has a synergy, if you will, someone that'll mesh well with him, where they'll have a good relationship, and that will complement him as well. He's all about loyalty, and he wants someone that can be president. His camp is saying is that in the instance that, because he understands that he's up in age, in the instance that he cannot complete his term or is not able to run for a second, he wants someone that's there that would be able to step in if necessary. Now, that didn't come out of his mouth. I didn't hear him say it, but I'm hearing news outlets say it and alleging that his camp has said this as well. So let's talk about who his options are. Now, there's a long list. If we go through this long list, actually, I will do that, and I'll also put it on the screen for you to take a look at as well. Let's look at this long list. Stacey Abrams' name has been floated around a little bit. Val Demings. Stacey Abrams ran for governor, and she did not win. Val Demings is a congresswoman from Florida. She was a former police chief in Orlando. Elizabeth Warren, everyone knows Elizabeth Warren. She ran for president against Joe Biden and lost and had to get out. Governor Gretchen Whitmer, I think she's Michigan. Tammy Duckworth is senator from Illinois. Tammy Baldwin is a senator from Wisconsin. And Kesha Lance Bottom, mayor of Atlanta. I'm not sure why she's on this list at all. And I say that, and some of you won't agree with me. I know Ricky Smiley talked a little bit on his a video he did on YouTube regarding Kesha Lance Bottom being his top choice. There's no credence to go behind it. There's no really what, how. She's a mayor of Atlanta. She has no other experience. She has nothing on the national level. There's nothing that I know of that would point to her being even the slightest, nothing that would make her be in the running, that would allow her to be in the running to be vice president. The fact that she's handling the COVID situation in Atlanta, and the protests, perhaps, and maybe you like the way she handled those. I don't know if she handled them great or not, but I think it just depends on who you ask, but it definitely doesn't qualify her to be in the vice presidential candidacy. Many people hadn't heard from her, unless you're in Atlanta, until recent. So absolutely not. She's not really on the list. She's on the list, but she's not really on the list, if you get my drift. Susan Rice, former National Security Advisor for President Obama. She's also an ambassador to the UN as well. She, in my opinion, has a lot of experience. We'll talk more about her in just a second. Then we have Karen Bass, who's a representative from California, congresswoman from California, and Kamala Harris. We all know Kamala Harris. She ran for president as well against Biden. She lost, and she's the senator for California. Yeah. So let's go through these top 3. The top 3 are, in my opinion, you can disagree if you want, but I think this is the top 3. Kamala Harris is at the top of the heap. I think she's the number 1 choice right now. She's the best prepared to take on the presidential role if need be. She's only the second black woman senator ever in the United States. She's very good at what she does, in my opinion. She was Attorney General for California, second highest criminal justice system. Second biggest criminal justice system. And she can hold her own. She went to Howard University. And I think she is definitely prepared to take over. I honestly feel like she should have been the candidate But you know what? If she has to take the VP role, I'm okay with that. I've been rolling with her. It's been my pick ever since the beginning. She's 55 years old. She went to Howard University. The problems with her, Biden and his camp, and Chris Dodd, who's helping Biden with his choice for some odd reason, who failed in his run for presidency. He was a senator from Connecticut for a while. He feels like she's too ambitious. Okay, now let's talk about that. What does that mean, too ambitious? Is that a term only used towards black women or towards women? What does it mean to be too ambitious when you're vying for the role of either president or vice president? Is that even a thing? How is it possible? To use that term, I think, was very sexist for Chris Dodd to say, allegedly, that she's too ambitious and that Biden wants someone that's going to work with him and have somewhat of a cohesion in helping him versus campaigning on day one. So they're kind of talking out of both sides of their mouth. They want someone that's ready to take the position if something would happen to Joe, but they also want someone that's not so ambitious that they want to be president. I don't think you know what you want. So I think it's just a little bit of being intimidated by a strong black woman that could really handle her business and could really be president and probably should have had the nomination. That's all I got to say about that. Now let's go to Karen Bass. Karen Bass, she's 66 years old, so she's a little up in age too. She's close to Joe. Compared to Kamala's 55. She is the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus in the House, and she went to USC. Only issue I would have with her is, I don't know. She's not as strong, in my opinion, as a Kamala or Susan Rice. She can hold her own, very intelligent. She, again, leading. She's the chairperson of the Congressional Black Caucus. We'll go into more detail in another video. So make sure you go hit the subscribe button real quick and also hit the notifications bell, because we're going to be talking about the Congressional Black Caucus in the House of Representatives and what they do, what they do, what they're expected to do, and what they've done. Has she been effective as the chairperson for the Congressional Black Caucus, or it just sounds good to say you're part of the Congressional Black Caucus? So we'll talk about that in a later date. So be sure to subscribe. But she's pretty new in the lineup, in the top three. She's a safe pick, in my opinion. Okay, so the only negative thing I've heard about Karen Bass is that she made statements regarding Castro when he was killed, or when he died, rather, that it was a big loss. It was a great loss for the people of Cuba. So they're holding that over her head. She's speaking well of Castro. It's amazing the stuff that the different sides try to hold over each other's heads. Things that people say. You can't be human. You can't have any humanity whatsoever when you're in politics for some reason. I'll never get that. So that's the only thing that I can think of that they're really trying to say as it relates to her. Now, if we move over to the third candidate, last candidate I want to talk about is Susan Rice, who I think has a great chance. If I could be honest, Kamala or Susan are going to have that spot. Susan Rice, again, was Obama's ambassador to the UN. She was also his national security advisor. I think Condoleezza Rice held that position as well. Obama wanted her to move into the Secretary of State position after Hillary left. After Hillary was done with the position, basically. But Benghazi. I know most people don't know what the hell that means. What is Benghazi? What is it? And I'm not even going to get into it here because this is a political short. I'm not going to go into a long, big, drawn-out explanation of it. But if you will, as I said earlier, click the notification button, click the subscribe button. We're going to have one episode on Benghazi, on what Benghazi was, where it is, and how it overall affects Susan Rice. I will say this. They don't feel like she handled things right at that time. I don't necessarily agree with their statements on that. They feel like she lied and a lot of different things, a lot of cover up and things of that nature. But she is, to me, the most experienced as it relates to foreign policy of all the candidates. Even Warren, Senator Warren. I know that Susan Rice is the most prepared and experienced as it relates to foreign policy. And Joe needs that. Even though he's experienced with it as well, I think she'd be a better diplomat for our foreign policy. So that gives her a leg up as it relates to Kamala. What gives Kamala a leg up is she's been the top cop. She's been AG before. She's a senator now. And Susan has never been in elected office. She was appointed to the cabinet, Obama's cabinet. So she's never been she's not a politician. So that could be a negative or a positive for her, just depends on how you look at it. So overall, those three candidates, top three: Kamala Harris, Senator Kamala Harris out of California, Karen Bass, Representative Congresswoman out of California, and Susan Rice, former National Security Advisor for the Obama administration. Those are the three. Mark my words, one of those three will be chosen. It'll be Susan or Kamala, actually. One of those will be chosen and to be vice president. I'm just a little perturbed that it's taking Joe Biden so long. He's delayed his announcement for another week. It was supposed to be last week, then it was supposed to be this week, and now it's supposed to be next week, a week prior to the Democratic convention, and he's just kind of prolonging it. Everything with Joe's slow, isn't it? Everything with Biden is slow. Can we get this on out? Can we stop teasing it? Can we talk about it? We've already seen your notes. We've seen the screenshots of his notes at a conference that he did, a meeting that he did, and he had Kamala Harris's name at the top and a lot of great things he wanted to say about her. It looks like his damage control, since his campaign and Chris Dodd are saying that he shouldn't pick her because of how she attacked him during the primaries, and that she wouldn't be a loyal person to work with him. So it looks like he's trying to do damage control and show that they are a cohesive team now. He feels like she's loyal. He accepts her apology, and that she'd be the best pick. So that kind of has the tilted a little bit. Kamala has the leg up. Here's Kamala. Here is Susan. So we'll see. Hopefully in another week, unless Joe prolongs it again. And guess what, guys? This has been a political short. Post your questions in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification button. And check back with us tomorrow and see what we talk about. We'll be talking about Benghazi this week. We'll also be talking about the Congressional Black Caucus and so much more. Share this. And I'll see you guys soon. I'm Lamar, and I'm out. Excellent.